What up everyone, Team Nato here, welcoming you back to another video. It's not much, but it's mine. Before we get started, I would like to invite everyone to please do subscribe to the channel as it will help out a lot and I will really appreciate it. Now, for today's topic, we're going to be talking about gear. A lens to be more specific. Now before I go ahead and talk about this particular lens, I want to talk about gear in general. It's common knowledge that the more expensive gear is, the better quality and more features it will offer, like the Sony G Master lenses. But at the same time, the cheaper the gear, also it offers less quality and less features, like those inexpensive tripods of flimsy tripods. But there are outliers, the generally more affordable gear that offers you great quality and great features as well. And for tonight's video, that piece of gear is this Viltrox 85mm 1.8 Mark II for the Sony E-mount system. To break down this review, I'm going to categorize it into 4 categories. First is the build quality, second is autofocus, third is image quality, and fourth is price to quality ratio. First up is the build quality of this lens. It's completely made out of metal. It feels hefty, it feels premium, it feels great in the hand, but it is quite heavy at 484 grams, almost as heavy as the Sony A7 III body, which is around 600 something grams. The focus ring feels kinda heavy, so if you're planning to use it for video, if you're shooting in manual focus for your videos, it's not gonna be as smooth as possible because it's gonna take some effort for you to really turn that focus wheel around. The mount of course is also made out of metal, but it's missing that rubber gasket which provides weather sealing, so I think it's safe to say that this lens is not weather sealed, so you have to take care of it when it's raining and stuff. Also, at the back of the lens, there's that micro USB port which will allow you to update the firmware directly into the lens by plugging it into your computer. It's the first lens I own that has that feature. So overall for build quality, I'm gonna give it at around 3.5 out of 5 star because just that weather sealing is important for me. But then again, this is a budget lens, so I'm not really complaining, but yes, 3.5 out of 5 stars for the build quality. Alright, moving on to the second category, which is the autofocus. For taking photos, this lens generally does well. It does a good job of locking the focus into the eyes with that eye tracking system if your subject isn't moving around as much. But I noticed that once the subject is moving fast, it kinda misses that focus into the eye. Sometimes it's moved to the nose, it moves to the cheek, it moves to the lips, but overall the image will still end up being usable because the focus is still on the face of your subject. In video mode though, it performs kind of worse because yes, it tracks your face when you're stationary, when your subject is not moving, like for interview and things like that, but when your subject is already moving fast, running, it doesn't really do a good job with locking into the face and tracking that face for focus. It sometimes misses focus totally, sometimes it takes a while before it grabs onto the face and locks down to the face for tracking. But overall it's usable, but you don't really use an 85mm to shoot sports, so overall for what you're gonna use it, I think it does a very good job. For focusing, I'm giving this lens a 3.5 out of 5 stars as well. As for image quality, this lens is very good. It takes sharp photos even when you're shooting wide open at f1.8. It has good looking bokeh. It does have great color reproduction as well. It's fairly accurate for what it is. And you know, 85mm, I just love the compression of the 85mm. I love how it looks. I love how it compresses the background to your subject. And that's true for all 85mm lenses, but I just love the look of the 85mm in this particular lens. It's sharp, it focuses well, it has good image quality, good bokeh, and overall the image quality of this lens that this lens produces is very good. And I'm going to show you some sample photos right now. Okay, now for image quality, I'm gonna give this lens a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Now next is the price to quality ratio. If you're in the US, you can get this lens for around $399 over at Amazon or over at B&H Photo. If you're in the Philippines, surprisingly, you can get it for cheaper at around 17,000 pesos, which converts roughly to around 300 to 350 US dollars, which is a great deal. So you can find it at Shopee. You can search for Manila Vintage Primes, and they have this lens available, and also other Viltrox lenses that are available for the Sony and Fuji mounts. Now this lens has a great price for the quality it gives. So it's cheaper than the Zeiss Batis 85 1.8, which is around $1,199. It's cheaper than the Sony 85 1.8, which is at around $548. And of course, it's cheaper than the 85mm 1.4 of Sony, the G Master one, that is priced at around $1,800, which is crazy if you think about it. You can save around $200 to $1,400 if you get this 85 1.8, and you will get great results with it also. Also, you can use this for both the APS-C Sony system and also the full frame Sony system, but this one is built really for the FE mounts, or the full frame mounts. Now for price to quality ratio, I'm gonna give it a hefty 4.5 out of 5 stars. Overall, the lens score is 3.875 over 5 stars. So if you round it up, it's around 4 stars out of 5 stars. Would recommend. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. This lens is great. This lens is affordable. And if you're looking to maybe start with portrait photography or with product photography, it works well with portrait and product photography. This is something that you should consider if you're just starting out like I am, and you want to dive into the 85 and you're using a Sony or a Fuji system. This lens will give you great value, great quality pictures for the price. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts at the comment section down below, or if you have suggestions on other budget lenses that I could maybe try out, and also to help out with my photography needs. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's it for me tonight, guys. Peace out.